Let's talk a little bit about nuts and diabetes. There is a lot of research in the recent past which talks about incorporating good quality fats in the diet of diabetics and even pre-diabetics. What do we mean by this? What we are trying to emphasize is that if we have to ration carbohydrates, what is the way out? The way out is that if we ration the carbohydrate and good quality fats can substitute the quantity of carbohydrate, then in totality we gain. How we gain? Because the moment we substitute the carbohydrates with good quality fat, it gives more satiety. And in addition to the satiety, this good quality fat, especially omega-3, helps in bringing the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio also lowers. And most importantly, if we get this good quality of fat from nuts and oil seeds, then the added benefit is that we get a lot of monounsaturated fatty acids, which are also having a very, very important role in sensitizing the insulin and in helping get better control on the sugars. So when we are talking of good quality fat, we are definitely looking at omega-3 fatty acids, we are looking at monounsaturated fatty acids, and both these fatty acids are present in plenty, especially in nuts. Now, I said nuts and oil seeds, but I would say nuts more, because nuts is something which can be easily consumed as a snack by a diabetic. Now, what nuts to consume? The nuts which we have been reviewing in literature are definitely almonds. There is literature now also available on walnuts and cashews, and to a certain extent on pista. But there is a huge amount of literature available for incorporating almonds as a part of our diet, because as a nut, almond has lowest amount of carbohydrate and also lowest quantity of total fat. Plus, whatever fat is there is a fat which is high in MUFA and high in omega-3. In addition to that, I'm also getting good amount of vitamin E, I'm getting good amount of fiber, I'm also getting good amount of important micronutrients, whether it is zinc, selenium, magnesium, and to top it all, I'm also getting proteins. So, incorporating nuts and oil seeds as a part of a snack in a diabetic diet may be a good idea, because by doing this, I can do away with my carbohydrates, I can get more satiety, I can get good quality fat, I get fiber, I get micronutrients, and I also get proteins. Now, one thing which one has to remember is that the moment we have nuts and oil seeds in our diet, we are adding fat to our diet, because they are containing invisible fat, but in any case the fat is going in our food. So if we are adding these foods in our diet, then we must become very strict in terms of our visible fat. What is visible fat? It's the cooking oil, the quantity which we use, it's the ghee which we use. So I must measure the visible fat which I used in my day-to-day cooking. And I think in my last series I said that what we are looking at is not more than 1 level tablespoon per day, which may be equivalent to 3 level teaspoons. So 10 grams of fat, visible fat, is something which we will look at, which is actually a 1 level tablespoon of cooking oil, or 3 level teaspoons of oil, and we may incorporate out of the 3 1 level teaspoon as ghee. But when I'm talking so discreetly about the quantity, it is important that we need to cut down on our visible fat and liberalize on our invisible fat coming from these nuts and oil seeds, because this is the good quality fat which is rich in not only the fatty acids which we need to create an anti-inflammatory environment, but it's also giving so many other valuable nutrients to the body, whether it is micronutrients, whether it is fiber, whether it is phytochemicals, and also an added protein. So when we are talking about oil seeds, what has been valued a lot is flax seeds, because they are one of the richest source of omega-3 fatty acids in a vegetarian diet. But a couple of precautions must be taken. That it should not be subjected to heat. It should always be pulverized and ground and then consumed, then only the active component is available. And yes, as far as possible, we should not stock it for a long time. It should be freshly ground and preferably kept under low temperature conditions, because otherwise the fat in these oil seeds becomes rancid. In addition to that, we have so many seeds which have come in. We have sunflower seeds, we have chia seeds, and so many of the seeds which are not very native to Indian environment, but today we are global, so kind of everything is available in India. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not necessary that unless and until we buy expensive nuts and oil seeds, then only our diet can become nutritious. Something which is locally available, is reasonably priced, I think as a nut or as an oil seed is also a good idea. But emphasizing on nuts and oil seeds in a diabetic diet is a welcome recommendation, because it's a very good idea to use it as a snack, as a mid-morning, because you are helping the body maintain the blood sugars better.